What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to another episode of Top 5 Tweets. Today we're going to be taking a very close look at the aging and perhaps senile billionaire Rupert Murdoch. If you don't know who Rupert Murdoch is, his news company owns over 800 companies in 50 different countries, and he's one of the most disturbingly powerful men in the world. His news company produces vomit-inducing sensationalist headlines that spew his agenda in a very obvious manner, and some people just can't get enough of that sweet mind-melting garbage. Anyway, in at number 5 on this lunatic's list of top 5 tweets is a tweet which was produced in the wake of the missing MH370 Malaysian Airlines flight from last year, as he says, 777 crash confirms jihadists turning to make trouble for China. Chance for US to make common cause, befriend China while Russia bullies. Now obviously this is complete speculation on his part, and he tweets everything as if it's a newspaper headline. But remember that this plane went missing and in all probability crashed, and not one terrorist organization or radical Islamist group has claimed responsibility for it. And this man, who is literally in charge of overseeing the news in several countries, has decided it's jihadists and mapped out a huge tinfoil hat story about the whole thing. And if that wasn't alarming enough, here's his 4th greatest tweet. Tweeted a few days later when Murdoch says, "World seems transfixed by 777 disappearance, maybe no crash, but stolen, effectively hidden, perhaps in northern Pakistan like Bin Laden." So to reiterate, this man owns the news, well, a significant portion of it anyway, and this is the kind of nonsense that he's irresponsibly putting into the consciousness of social media. The next greatest tweet from Murdoch is from November of last year, as he says, "Moses film attacked on Twitter for all-white cast. Since when are Egyptians not white? All I know are." While I agree that the people who complain about the all-white cast are usually just doing it so that they have something to complain about, you can't just turn around and colour the entire country as being white when it's quite clearly not the case. Like, everyone I know who drives a white van is an awful person, but that doesn't make me say that every single white van driver is an awful person though, does it? The second greatest tweet from Murdoch is from yesterday, when he warns us of a big jihadist danger looming everywhere, from the Philippines to Africa to Europe to the US. Political correctness makes for denial and hypocrisy, which seems like a fairly sane statement, albeit maybe a little bit obtuse. But it's one of those thought patterns that you can definitely understand somebody having. But this was in response to what I consider to be the greatest tweet ever from Murdoch's account, purely in terms of how utterly insane and dangerous this worldview is, as Murdoch tweets minutes before this tweet saying, "Maybe most Muslims peaceful, but until they recognize and destroy their growing jihadist cancer, they must be held responsible." Which is absolutely mental in my opinion. Like, how can you hold these people responsible for something that the actions of two insane, like, maybe most Muslims are peaceful, like maybe in the 1.5 billion members of this religion being mostly peaceful, like obviously they're mostly peaceful. As for them recognizing their growing jihadist cancer, time and time again Muslim leaders speak out against terrorism and get largely ignored by the media machine that Murdoch himself has helped to create, so that they can continue pressing this bigoted depiction of Islam into the public consciousness. Muslims don't have to apologize for what other people do in a twisted attempt to support the name of Islam, the same way Christians don't have to apologize for what Hitler did in World War II, the same way Liverpool fans don't have to apologize for the lies that were published in Murdoch's tabloid The Sun after the Hillsborough tragedy, the same way like Australian people don't have to apologize for the inane ramblings of a dangerously powerful, out-of-touch old man who is dead set on presenting his bigotry as fact. Obviously that tweet was the entire inspiration for this video. It just really, I read it and I just couldn't believe that a guy who controls a large portion of the media in most of the Western world has decided that this is a fact and that Muslims have to apologize. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't attack an entire religion for the actions of some radical extremists. Like, it's just ridiculous. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like, that'd be much appreciated. If you guys want to suggest candidates for top 5 tweets, I am currently running out of ideas, so if you want to suggest them in the comment section, that would be great. I've been Eldeniro, thanks for watching.